Hi, I'm Tim Gatenby and I'm a painter based in London. Mainly I'm known for doing blurred out paintings where it's difficult to see the imagery and has nostalgic themes that kind of draw on childhood influences or sort of pop cultural influences. I really liked making blurred out paintings and thinking about the concepts of memory and how images are sort of fading in your mind, and then you could replicate that with sort of the blurred outness, so it's almost like the memories are sort of dissolving into the distance and you're trying to grapple to grab onto it. And I just wanted to sort of replicate that feeling of things kind of falling away into your unconscious, but you're also trying to sort of make sense of it. You're always surrounded by these pop cultural icons, whether you could avoid them or embrace them. They've definitely moulded your visual understanding of even art or the world, and then it's kind of like using them as sort of signposts. How you'd have in sort of Christian art, like these metaphorical images that people could automatically relate to and project different themes, but knowing what the imagery sort of represented, you could sort of use it to warp how the images talk to whoever's looking at them. Most of the time the images I'll choose would be sort of the most popular, most common ones, just because they are the most iconic and people can relate to them the most. Ones like Cookie Monster, which I paint a lot of the time, I like connecting him to cookies, and with SpongeBob I like how he's got an intrinsic relationship with burgers. I kind of like it when the characters are also personified by food, because I like how the food element also relates to contemporary world of indulgence and the fast food mentality, which I relate back to the cartoons. I will try and find the images that I want to paint and then create the preliminary sketches, and then once I have the idea laid down digitally, I will start to work with this new series. I'm using the airbrush to start off with, and then on top of that using the oil paint to create like a second layer, so it's almost a painting on top of a painting, to give it three-dimensional elements. So you're looking at these different ideas to do with perspective and how you can actually look at an oil painting. Originally I really wanted to be a filmmaker, and I would always make films when I was growing up, but I was often painting on the side, so I found it quite fun as a more private thing, but I never really thought about painting or making two-dimensional like still works of art until I was maybe 17 or 18, and I thought it was just easier than making a film, because you'd have to get a whole crew to make a film, whereas you could literally just paint on your own, and you could have all the creative control, like without having to organise people. I remember when I was trying to make films, you'd always be trying to get people who didn't really want to do it and rope them in, but with the paintings you could really sort of get into that same sort of feeling. I think I love more and more the idea that when you make a body of work you can really create like a mise-en-scène, like a atmosphere with the show, which is going to be more important when you've got all this digital art and everyone's looking at screens. Whenever people come to the shows and see them in person, they're like, oh wow, it looks so different than just looking on my phone. So now you have the opportunity to really sort of create like an experience where people can go in, and it's actually a lot more interesting than just scrolling through Instagram the whole time. My original intention when I was moving into creating more pop cultural work was that I wanted to make people laugh, so people would have a sense of enjoyment when they look at work. Maybe there'd be like a humour, and people would actually just find it funny and not have to have the pretenses of some exhibitions where maybe there's too weighty or pretentious. It was meant to be sort of a counter to stuffiness. Art's very important to me. I think it's a great way to sort of connect people and bring people into a space together, and I really like that it's moving outside of people just being on computers all the time, and you can actually have like a sort of analog experience where people are actually experiencing sort of the physical world. I feel like my sort of life kind of revolves around art, and I can't really imagine a life without art. It's almost impossible to comprehend.